Beach FM, locals talking to locals.
Beach FM, great to welcome now the chair of the Waikanae Community Board, James Westbury. Good morning and welcome to you.
Oh, good morning to you too, John. It's been an interesting couple of days, so yes.
Well, perhaps we can deal with the disappearance of a heating system. I know this is an unusual topic, but I know it's top of mind for you at the moment.
Oh, indeed. It's a remarkable inconvenience, actually. We've had essentially a heat exchanger stolen off the side of our health centre, Mahara Health, the previous night, which means that we've been without hot water, which has been extremely frustrating, to be honest. And when they did steal it, they stole the gas bottles and ripped the plumbing right off the wall. So we had probably in excess of about 5,000 to 6,000 litres worth of water cascading down the drain. So yes,
how
it's been a bit of fun sorting it out.
And I assume a health centre could do with some hot water. I would have thought that was quite necessary. Indeed. So we've had to make do with other heating systems for our water, but also the extensive use of hand sanitizer. So it's not, whilst it's not ideal, it's we've certainly soldiered through. But yes, I'd like to appeal to anybody who was around on Wednesday night to see if they saw any suspicious activity, to be honest, because we'd like to catch somebody. Unfortunately, our camera systems in that area didn't highlight anybody around there. It's a bit of a blind spot, unfortunately. Well, luckily there's a thing called a cell phone that the citizen army is armed with, and perhaps someone did catch that particular action. Let's hope so anyway. James, I believe that something is happening on Te Moana Road, and there's been some recent discussions. Well, actually, the discussion's been going on for some time, but there's been some progress about a possible change.
Indeed. Yesterday we met with council officers to discuss the reprioritization of traffic at the Te Moana Rahapraha interchange or intersection. It's quite a notoriously difficult one. It has been fraught with a couple of traffic accidents and one fatal over the last 10 years. So it's an area that the council has been notified as an area of concern. It's one of the highest priority intersections in our community that's been needing of significant review. And in the previous training, we were presented with a number of proposals that might address the safety concerns that were identified by council officers in conjunction with NZTA to see how it might be fixed. It's gone through a couple of reiterations. We asked for it to be peer reviewed as a community board and looking at some of the data. Today, the council officers were very helpful in presenting to us some of the more data and also giving a concrete case to have the right-of-way changed given traffic volumes, safety, angle of, when you're looking at or seeing oncoming traffic. So I feel quite, satisfied that council officers have done their due diligence in this process. It's one of those tricky ones as a community board member. It's a safety-based issue. Community board aren't typically involved. It's something that council officers would just do. But council have been very helpful in this case in working with the community board to make sure that all the issues that could be brought out or alternatives have been discussed too. So at this point in time, it looks like the idea will be, and that we'll be presented with a formal paper at the next community board on the 11th of August to ratify the noting of that decision, which hopefully it's not going to impact too many people, but I believe that we should have a far safer intersection on Te Moana Road and Rahapa Road on Street.
It's amazing how much research, how much consideration, and sometimes how much consultation has to go into something that might appear to be obvious to some people. I mean, this would have been, in total, years of work, wouldn't it?
A lot of time and effort's been into reviewing this, and the community has been consulted on that, and a number of people along those affected roads have often been concerned about speeding traffic too. So they're also looking at ways of implementing some traffic calming measures that might assist in reducing the average speed of the traffic. Whilst there's not a lot, if you look at it in percentage terms of traffic going over 60 kilometres per hour along those two roads, it's about 1 an hour, and that's enough if a child ran out along those streets would be a fatal incident. So we're trying to make sure we're dealing with the pedestrian, the cycle access, but also road users as in cars and trucks and motorcycles. So it's a really difficult one to look at, and I'm sure there's going to be people in the community who might think, well, why have they done this? But I think we've made, it's the safest option for our community.
Excellent. And finally, James, did you make it to the Waikanae market?
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to. On the Saturday, it was my son's birthday, so I needed to make sure I was there and present. We had a number of children staying the night too, so I was needed at home on that account. So, but I understand it was a resounding success with regards to the reopening of it, and I'm really proud that we've got that going as a community board again. We invested over $8,000 in the community market as a community board, supporting them with regards to satisfying the bureaucratic requirements that are needed with regards to traffic management, with regards to consents, etc., etc. So I think it's a good investment that's been made, and I wish them all the best in the success of continuing on in that market.
As do we all. James Westbury, thank you so much for joining us this morning here on Beach FM.
Thanks a lot, John. Much appreciated.
106.3 Beach FM.